Hello Year 6. Just a little video today to remind you about some things to do with capacity to help you with your maths this week. So, as you will already know, your last two lessons this week have been all about capacity, which is what we use and talk about when we are measuring liquids. And you will have found some different objects and containers, perhaps items around your house that will have measured different capacities. So, for example, you may have found some bottles of juice or bottles of water or pop. You might have found some bottles in your bathroom, like cleaning products or shampoos. And on each of those bottles, they will have had different units of measurement for the capacity that those bottles can hold. And hopefully you will have found that they were all measured in millilitres and litres. And I reckon some of you may even have found some bottles and containers that might have had some different units of capacity on them. Perhaps some imperial units of capacity, so maybe pints or maybe even gallons. So today's activity is going to be concentrating on the metric units of measurement still for capacity, which is our millilitres and our litres. And I just wanted to make a quick video today, just as a quick reminder for how we convert between millilitres and litres. And I know that some of you might have had a go at the challenge on Monday when I asked you to convert the different objects that you'd found. And that's brilliant if you did. If you didn't and you struggled a little bit in remembering how to convert between millilitres and litres, I'm just going to show you a couple of examples today of our little method that we learned a few weeks ago, so that hopefully if you were struggling, this should refresh your memory and then it will help you with the activities that I've set you for today. Okay? So, if we were converting between millilitres and litres, for example, and let's say that our question was, and we'll start with an easier one, that our question was that we wanted to convert 4,500 millilitres and we wanted it in litres. Okay? So this method that I'm about to show you now, and hopefully you will remember it, is exactly the same method that we were doing in the classroom, and we used it for when we were learning about grams and kilograms, centimetres and metres, kilometres, so all the different units of measurement that we might come across when we are thinking about metric units of measurement. So with this week, we're just concentrating on capacity, but hopefully this method will refresh your memory for when we do a little bit more at home about the different units of measurement that we can look at. So if we are going, for example, from millilitres into litres, okay? And we want to find out what 4,500 millilitres is in litres. We can do that if we think about what we know about millilitres into litres. So we have to think about the fact that we know about these two things. So I know, and I know from watching the video on Monday as well, that 1,000 millilitres is the same as, and that's what this arrow here means, 1 litre. That's one of those facts that I've remembered. So I know that 1,000 millilitres is the same as 1 litre. Okay? So now I have to think, what have I done to my 1,000 for it to be the same as 1? So what have I done to 1,000 to get 1? And this is when we start thinking about our multiplying and dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. They're the things that are going to help us when we're converting between different units of measurement. So how do I get from 1,000 to 1? Well, I know that I'm dividing because my number is getting smaller, and I can see that I'm dividing by 1,000 because it is getting 1,000 times smaller. Okay, so this bit that we've got to now is the most important bit of our method, because this is when we've actually found out what it is that we are now going to do. So I know that in order to work out how many litres is the same as 4,500 millilitres, I know that I need to do 4,500 divided by 1,000, because that is what I know from this fact here, okay? And at this point we've done so much practice of timesing and dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. And this is where we will have used, some of you may have used your place value columns in order to help you. So you might want to draw at home your place value columns to help you with your division by 1,000. I know that I am dividing, so I need to think about which way along the place value columns I will be moving my number. Will I be moving my number to the left, which is typically when it's getting bigger, or will I be moving my number to the right of my place value columns because it's getting smaller? So I am going to move it to the right, and I am going to move it 3 places because I have 3 zeros, 3 placeholder zeros on my 1,000. Okay, so you might want to have a go at that at home before you watch the next part, but we did lots of practice on this in school. So I know that my answer would be 4.5, so I've gone into my decimal numbers now, litre. Okay, so that's me saying that 4,500 millilitres is the same as 4.5 litres. So if I asked you my silly question that I always ask, what would you rather have? 4,500 millilitres of your favourite drink or 4.5 litres of your favourite drink? I'm hoping everybody at home is now saying it doesn't matter because they are both equivalent. Okay? So if we try again, and this time we will go from litres to millilitres, and we'll see if it changes our method in any way. So if I have, let's have the decimal number now, 6.07 litres, and I want to convert it into millilitres, I'm going to do the same thing, follow the same method as I have already done from my millilitres to litres. Okay, so I'm going litres to millilitres, and I have to think now about the fact that I know about litres and millilitres. So I know that 1 litre is the same as 1,000 millilitres. Now, this time you'll be able to, I don't know whether you can see, but you'll be able to see that our numbers have changed. And this is the really, really important part, Year 6, that we have to remember. And I think you'll remember this from when we did it in class. If you get these numbers the wrong way round, your whole question might end up being wrong. So make sure that your number underneath your litres side is definitely right, and that you're not saying that 1,000 litres is the same as 1 millilitre. Remember, 1 millilitre is a very, 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 very tiny amount of water or liquid, whereas 1 litre is typically like a bottle of pop. Okay, so try and remember our visuals to help you too. So 1 litre is the same as 1,000 millilitres. Okay, so I'm asking myself the question, what am I doing to 1 to get to 1,000? I know that I am actually multiplying it this time because it is getting bigger. I am multiplying it by 1,000. It is getting 1,000 times bigger. So the calculation I will do is 6.07 times by 1,000. So thinking about your place value columns again, this time I am getting bigger because I am multiplying. So I know that my numbers are going to be moving left on the place value columns because my number will be getting bigger. And again, it will be 3 places to the left. Okay, So again, if you want to stop the video here, have a little go at that yourselves. But I know that if I do 6.07 times by 1,000, I will get the answer 6,070, and that will be millilitres. Okay, so those were our two examples of using our method to help us to convert between litres and millilitres. And I know that this isn't what we're doing today, but we can use that same method for all of the other metric units of measurement that we can convert between. So hopefully over the next few weeks we'll have a chance to practice that at home. Okay, so when you look at the challenges that I've set for you today, just remember those challenges might not ask you to convert your units of measure, but if you have a question that involves both litres and millilitres inside that question, you will want to convert so that both of them are then the same. So make sure that you can see both of those units of measurement as the same thing, and your question will be so much easier to approach. And actually sometimes on a question it will say that it wants your answer in millilitres or litres. So that might help you to make that decision over whether you convert to millilitres or whether you convert to litres. So if you need to watch back any of this video just to help you with that method, then don't forget. And some of you might find that you don't need to rely too much on the method anymore, and you might just be able to see and visualise your conversions. But if you're still finding it a little bit tricky, use the method. It works every single time. Okay? Good luck and enjoy the activity for today. Bye bye.